Welcome to Daily Hope. I'm Joan Stevenson, Children's Ministry Director, and I get to partner with people who are missionaries to the children of North County coastal area, and we would love for you to join us. Paul, a missionary to the Gentiles, is obsessed with freedom. In fact, 11 times in the book of Galatians, Paul mentions the word free or freedom, and not a wave the American flag, I get to do whatever I want, whenever I want kind of freedom, but a freedom that's found in Jesus. You know, I was talking with a friend the other day, and we both have older teenagers who are looking for a little more freedom in their lives. And she sat down with her daughter and they were talking about freedom. And she said, let's talk about freedom. I love freedom. Let's talk about the freedom for you to pay for your gas. Let's talk about the freedom to pay for your car insurance. And let's talk about the freedom for you to pay for your phone. This has been a great talk about freedom. Let's do this again. Well, I chuckled after she was relating that conversation to me because I remember feeling the same way. But there's a truer freedom found in Jesus, a freedom to live fully as God created us to be. A freedom that's an inside job, not a freedom because we try really hard or work really hard, but a freedom to be like Jesus. In Galatians 2, Paul starts off by saying 14 years since, or 14 years ago. There is something in this chapter that Paul wants us to know is the cornerstone. He is talking about the day that he met Jesus. Paul had been trying to follow God in all the wrong ways. He had been trying to follow really hard all the law of Moses, all the legal code. And he worked really hard, and he was persecuting people who didn't follow God the way he thought they should. And he was on his way to arrest these crazy followers of Jesus. And God struck him blind. And in his blindness, his companions led him into Damascus. And he was in a vision, he saw that somebody was going to pray for him, and he was going to receive his sight again. And this follower of Jesus got called by God to go, and he said, no way, I know who this guy is. He likes to kill Christians. I'm not going there. But he obeyed, and Paul received way more than his sight. He received Jesus, and he was forever changed. He was a missionary to the Gentiles, to those who did not have Jesus. And he proclaimed this radical freedom. Well, he started this church in Galatia. And then he went on to go share the same freedom with other people. And while he was gone, he got really upset because he had heard something had happened. And he wrote this letter to let the church of Galatia know that their freedom was being taken away. He says in Galatians 2:4, this matter arose because some false brothers had infiltrated our ranks to spy on the freedom we have in Christ Jesus and to make us slaves. Well, right away I was like, whoa, Paul, why are you upset? Well, he says there's false brothers. Who were these guys? They were a group who said it wasn't enough to have faith in Jesus, but you had to have faith in Jesus and follow all the legal code. They were false brothers because they were part of the church. And they had come and they had infiltrated our ranks. It was an inside job. They were people who were part of the church who were spreading this teaching that it wasn't enough to have Christ, that you needed Jesus and the legal code. And it says they came to spy on our freedom and to make us slaves again. In fact, Paul was so fired up because he knew from personal experience that following the law of Moses could not make him right with Jesus, could not make him right with God. Paul is obsessed with this freedom. He says in Galatians 2:16, we know that a man is not justified by the law, but by faith in Jesus Christ. And that's it. In fact, so much that Paul says this most famous verse in Galatians 2:20 and 21. I have been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the grace of God, for if righteousness could be gained through the law, Christ died for nothing. You see, as you read Galatians 2 for yourself, Paul wants you to experience this freedom, this inside job, not a freedom of trying really hard, but a freedom that allows God's love to transform you. So I want to encourage you, church, as you read Galatians 2 for yourself today, think about what are you drawn to in this passage? What is it that fires you up? What interests you? What is God saying to you? And secondly, also, what repels you? What do you feel uncomfortable with? What do you find yourself resistant to? Those things are also ways that God speaks to us. Bring that all before God and say, God, speak to me. What is it you want me to know here? And finally, church, live as free people, free from sin and shame, free from trying to measure up, free to allow God to transform you by his love. For we are transformed people, transforming his world. Have a great day, church.